First thing you're going to want to do with any electrical problem is make sure you do have a fully charged battery. Make sure your battery connections are good. You want to make sure that you aren't going to have, ground issues causing a whole bunch of problems, or just an undercharged or failed battery that's going to be slowing you down and causing a lot of headaches. So first thing is make sure you have a fully charged battery, and make sure your positive and ground connection are good. For this one, also you want to make sure that you have your fuse is good, and make sure the ground for the power window or power mirrors itself is good. So this is actually the plug that goes into the back of the power mirror switch. So it has 8 terminals and 8 wires. You'll notice there's a green and a white wire, and a green and a white wire that each have a black tracer. Those are your directional for the left hand and the right hand power mirrors. I couldn't find an actual diagram that had all of the wiring labeled for the power mirrors itself. Checked Haynes, checked online. Nobody seemed to have a simple, easy diagram or any diagram at all for the power mirror circuit. So I did some testing and found out which wire is what and how they all work. So the orange wire here, I'm just using a power probe. This is similar to a voltmeter. It reads power and ground, but you can also direct power and ground through the tip. So anyways, the orange wire is your 12 volt positive. So if I stick it in here, in the orange terminal, you can see there's 12 volts. And the black wire is your ground. It's a constant ground, so it needs to read constant ground. Now, the blue wire and the yellow wire are going to control the up, down, left to right power and ground distribution, and the green and white wire and the green and white, they each have a black tracer, are going to control the direction. So whether you're using the left hand mirror or the right hand mirror. First thing you want to do is, if you do have a problem, check the fuse, check your ground, make sure those are all good. Make sure you have power and ground coming to this switch here, to this plug. And make sure, if you take it apart, make sure you don't have corrosion on the back side of these terminals or in these holes, because that can cause connectivity issues, and it's going to impede the performance of the motor, cause intermittent problems, or it just won't work at all. So I took them apart, made sure they were clean, scuffed them up with just a gray Scotch-Brite pad. So you put them, they just snap together. They're not hard to get apart. They shouldn't be anyways. And you want to make sure that all the terminals are completely seated. You can use just a small screwdriver too if you look inside of where the terminals connect, at least on the back side here where the directional switches are. You can actually reach in there and make sure you push down on these terminals themselves and make sure everything has a good connection. You don't want to have, just a loose wire causing you to take apart the whole door, dash, mirror, just to find out that it was a bad connection. Alright, so both of my mirrors work. The passenger side is still in the car. I took the glass out of these on the driver's side. I have a late model. This is an 88, so the glass does just pop out off of this pivot cross here. You pretty much just push the glass down towards the bottom, get your fingers in behind, and gently pop forward towards you, and the glass should come out. Fairly simple, fairly easy. So if I plug this in, the mirrors only have 4 wires each. Like the same as the back of your actual switch, the blue and the yellow control the up and down, and the green and the white control side to side. So we plug it in. You should see on the left. Up will make the lower part of the motor turn clockwise. Down should make it turn counterclockwise. Left should be counterclockwise for the outside motor, and right should be clockwise for the outside motor as well, if you can see that there. To make this super simple, we're gonna do something here. So I have each of the wires here back probed. The green is to the green wire, the yellow to the yellow, the blue to the blue, and the black is to the white wire. Alright, and the switch is set onto the left control, and with the meter here we will be able to see what does what. I have the chart already made and I will post it in the video. This is just showing you how simple it is to test for power, ground, and learn which way it's going, I guess, the path from power to ground. So we have the probe attached to the white wire here, and if we press the up, there is no response. If you press the down, there is no response. So you know the white wire does not control the up or the down. So if we hit left, it lights up green, that's the ground, 0 volts. And if we hit the left, green, right, power. So we know that circuit from the switch to that wire is good. Now if we switch off of the white wire, okay, so now we are on the blue wire, and to see what the blue wire does, again, we're on the left hand side, and we will see up, nope, down, nope, so it controls the left and right as well. Left is power, and to the right is ground. So left is power, right is ground. And we know that circuit's okay because the white wire and the blue wire are tied together. Alright, so we've switched. We are now connected to the yellow wire, and this should control an up or down function. So if we hit up, we get power, and if we hit down, we get ground. So yellow, up is power, down is ground, which should mean, so we know the green is going to work because without one you won't have the other, and the yellow was working, so we'll see here, up is ground and down is power. So we know from the switch itself to the mirror harness, mirror plug, everything is working on the left hand side, and all you would have to do to test the right hand side is flick the switch, move on over to the passenger mirror, and repeat the same test. Alright, so we've tested the switch to the plug, now we're going to test from the plug to the motor in the mirror. So I have my power probe hooked up. You can do this with just alligator clips from the negative and positive battery cable, but it's simple with the power probe because it comes with an isolated ground. So I have grounded the white wire on the black alligator clip with it back probed in there, so you can see it's grounding. That wire is grounded, so we know that the blue wire, which is connected to the blue clip, if you see a ground there, then you do know that there's continuity between those two. What you don't want to see is continuity between the other two wires, because that would mean you have a short inside your motor somewhere, or inside this wiring harness from the motor to the plug. So we know that that circuit is okay, and if I switch to the green terminal, ground and ground, so we know the continuity in there is okay as well. So if I take the power probe, power it up, ground on green, power to yellow, You can see the up and down motor is moving clockwise. If I reverse that, put the ground on the yellow, power the green, the up and down motor moves counterclockwise. We take ground onto the white wire, power to the blue, counterclockwise on the left-right motor, and ground on the blue, power on the white, clockwise on the left-right motor. So there we have simply confirmed that the wiring from the plug to the motor is all functional. You can do this with the glass in or out, it's up to you.